Morning everybody, welcome to another of my strings and things. Today I've got a third review on this Harley Benton Nashville steel guitar. This is an interesting review because I've changed the pickup in it, and you might be very interested to hear how it sounds with a different pickup compared to the one that was originally installed. So I've made two reviews about this. The last review I made was a tone test with all kinds of different types of music on it played through this guitar, because it really ought to be a very useful guitar for all kinds of settings, particularly gigging. The first video I made was a review, and in that review I pointed out the lack of balance between the two pickups that have been installed in this guitar by Harley Benton. The first one obviously is a pickup which is the piezo pickup under the bridge, and then at the neck end was a lipstick pickup. And then with the preamp here, you could use the slider to choose or to select between the two pickups and positions in between, which should give a kind of hybrid sound. Unfortunately, they didn't. You only really got to hear the lipstick pickup, but it was pushed right to the end of the side to which the lipstick pickup is selected. And then very quickly after that, and also the volume was low compared to the pickup output from the piezo. So there's a lack of balance there. So in other words, if you wanted to move between the lipstick pickup, which had very low volume, and the piezo pickup, which in the preamp has a high volume, you not only had to move the switch to select the different pickup balance, you also had to change the volume on the volume channel, which is a lot of things to do. It's kind of inconvenient. So I figured out really that the pickup installed, the lipstick pickup, really wasn't giving enough power really to balance out the sound of the piezo pickup in the preamp that's being used here. So I made a decision really to try and change the pickup into something which gave a little bit more output, and also was not such a bright pickup as the lipstick pickup is. It's a single coil pickup, of course, and to use a humbucker, which obviously has a more mellow sound, which actually suits probably suits the more mellow sound that this guitar would produce without any pickup at all. It's a very thin kind of sound, but it is a mellow sound because it's kind of all mahogany, completely open guitar. So it's a hollow guitar. So I've made that change, and you might just want to have a very quick recap as to what I've done with it. First of all, I took out the lipstick pickup here, and the lipstick pickup is anchored to the bottom of the guitar by two screws that come through the bottom and screw into these holes here. And when you remove those screws, you can then remove the pickup. And the pickup is connected into the preamp with a small jack plug there. So in other words, in order to change the pickup, you've got to obviously provide more wiring, a little jack plug here, and then a slightly different mounting, because if you're going to put in a sort of a Strat type pickup or a humbucking pickup, a thin humbucking pickup that will go into the slot here, you'll have to make a new mounting for it, which I did, and I made a small mounting for it, which you can see up on the screen here. And in the top side you can see the screws which would anchor to the back of the guitar, and then the upper screws into which the pickup is mounted. So I chose to use a dual rail humbucking pickup, and one that you could coil split. I was interested obviously to have a little bit of variation in what you could do with that pickup. So I made the installation, and here it is. So here is the pickup installed, and while I was doing that, I also made allowance to split the coils here with a little toggle switch here. There it is. So now this is a guitar which is modified with a dual rail humbucking pickup, which you can coil split. And let me say right at the outset, I'm really pleased with the output. First of all, as with a few tone tests I'm going to give now this humbucker, which was a really cheap eBay humbucker, which cost me about seven or £8. To give you a little bit of detail about it, the pickup that was in the slipstick pickup, for all that it tells us, has an impedance of 4.7 kilo ohms. And what I put into it is a dual rail humbucking pickup, which with both coils used is around about 9.7 kilo ohms, and when coil split, exactly half that, about 4.85 kilo ohms, in as much as resistance tells you something about the power. In the end, the proof of the pudding is how it sounds. So as I said, I'm very pleased with the outcome of this, and I'll be passing this video on to Harley Benton, because they could easily make this change. You could choose all sorts of different pickups, but obviously without doing a lot of modification, they have to be able to sit into the space here. But this one here, you can see it there, fits in really quite nicely, and you can see also the mounting screws on either side of the pickup. So without more ado, let's have a listen to this pickup and hear what it sounds like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically move from the piezo pickup sound only. So on the selector slider here, I'm going to move from the piezo pickup only, and then I'm going to, obviously with the humbucker on fully, both coils, then I'm going to slowly move this down, or I'll move it down straight away, all the way down to the humbucker, so you can hear the basic difference between the two pickup sounds, and they're quite dramatic. See, I found the lipstick pickup, in as much as you could hear it very well with the sound up, was a bright pickup, as you'd expect for a single coil. And what I've got now is a sort of humbucker sound, which is a sort of deeper, more bassy sound, which matches very well with the piezo bright sound. Then I'll just do a few, and then I'll move it slowly upwards through, say, about 25% piezo, 75% humbucker, 50-50, 75-20, and 100%. So you can just hear the differences in the tones, and I hope you'll be impressed. And if you've got one of these guitars, it's a bit of a fiddle, obviously, to make the mounting block, but actually there are several ways you could do that. But if you've got something you can cut and bend metal, and a few tap dies for the screws you need to put into it, then obviously you can make this modification quite easily. I would like Harley Benton, or the manufacturers of this, to consider making this guitar with this type of pickup in it. This is a really cheap pickup. I think you could probably get a stronger one if that was would be helpful. So without any more ado, let's have a listen to some tones from this guitar. As I said, what I'll be doing is playing first of all from the piezo pickup only. So I've got the slider across. All the tones, the bass, treble and middle, are on mid positions. And let's just try from the piezo pickup. And just to let you know, the volume knob here, which is obviously a knob, is on about the, what would that be? About the 9 o'clock position, going around in a clockwise direction. So let's have a listen to this pickup. Okay, let's now move all the way down to the humbucker. What I hope you'll hear is that the volume is about the same, which is really important, because you don't want to be messing around with the volume. You just want to go straight from the other. So here we go. I haven't changed the volume tone. Okay, so I hope that's given you some idea. So now I'm going to move from the humbucker up and choose to move it up by about 25%, from 25% of piezo, 75% humbucker. And I hope you're going to notice now we are going to get a decent blend out of this. So let's have a listen. 75% piezo, 25% humbucker. %, piezo, 0% humbucker. Okay, so I've not changed the volume and we're getting a good balance of sound on all things. When you have the piezo on fully, just a slight movement towards the humbucker actually produces really quite a nice bass sound. Just a slight movement. Just getting a little bit more bass now coming through from the humbucker. A little bit more. So actually there's very little bass coming from the piezo pickup on this guitar, and it suggests to me actually that the piezo device itself is not quite positioned correctly under the bridge. Something I'm going to have a look at. Now, I chose a humbucker that I could do a coil split in it. So now I'm going to do a coil split. So this is virtually like going back to the lipstick pickup using just one of the two coils on the humbucker. So I can just flip the tab here. And what I'm going to have to do here to give you that sound is actually to wind from 3 o'clock almost up to 5 o'clock on the volume dial. So it's all the way around almost to be able to get some kind of sound out of it. Okay, and as soon as I start to put the piezo pickup, move this on about say 10% towards the piezo, you'll get a big increase in volume. Anyway, I won't do any more of that because it's overstoned. So in other words, this exactly mirrors what's going on with the original setup of this guitar as bought, which is basically the piezo completely overcomes the lipstick pickup very quickly, and you don't get anything much from the lipstick pickup. In fact, I think probably with this coil here, even though it has an impedance which is just slightly higher or very similar to the lipstick picker, it's actually giving a slightly weaker output. So really a careful selection of the humbucker pickups that you're going to install in this would sort that out. So I'm really pleased with this modification. I should say that just playing single lines and lead between the various positions with the lipstick on and sort of 50-50 positions produces a really nice sound. So this is something I'm going to recommend to Thomann to change for their manufacture of this guitar, to put in a coil pickup, single coil pickup, but a humbucker pickup, which fits very nicely. They wouldn't have to do any other tooling on the guitar. You'd have to make a slightly different mounting as I've made here to put it in, or some other alternative. Anyway, so thank you very much for listening. I hope you found this interesting. I've certainly made a guitar now which I really like. It plays really nicely, stays in tune. It produces now a terrific range of tones. I'm very pleased with it. I'm very pleased not having to fiddle so much with all the volume and position of the slider between the two pickups. So thank you very much for listening and watching again. If you like this, subscribe to my channel, send some comments. If you want some questions about this modification, please let me know. Send me some comments, and I'll get straight back to you. Thank you very much. Bye for now.